Let's see, I think it's noon, right on the nose. My name is Mark Nelson, and I'd like to just share a little bit for a few minutes about the Kansas Forage and Grassland Council. It seems like the conference has been going just incredibly well, and I think there's a lot of folks, and we'll be thanking them here in a second. Again, I just want to run through a few slides and share some information with you all about the Kansas Forage and Grassland Council. And all right, let's kind of go here. Number one, I tell you, we're all in this together. And we need your help as far as being people who are on this conference call or on this Zoom conference, but also, you know, for everyone that you know and your contacts, let them know about this organization. The Kansas forage industry is significant. Just threw some things together here yesterday, and I tried to pull together everything for 2019. I think this is a bit of a conservative look, but if you look at that middle column, acres, 15.5 million acres, 15.6 million acres of pasture land, 250,000 acres of corn silage, 630,000 of alfalfa, 1.65 million of hay, but all total 18.3 million acres tied up in forages. That's huge. That's 40% of all farmland. And yet so often people kind of think about it, you know, they think, hey, I'm a wheat producer, I'm a cattle producer, I'm a corn producer. But when you look at that entire operation, they are also very significant forage producers, but we just don't give this industry enough credit. I threw in some values there also from USDA, and I just used the rental rate for the past year, so that gives us 304 million, but you total that together, it's a $1.23 billion industry. And we kind of compare that to some of the other crops. Definitely corn is big, but soybeans, wheat, and Kansas forages really are battling it out for that second, third, and fourth spot as far as the most significant valued crops. And again, we are far and away the biggest acreage representation here as far as Kansas goes. So it's big. And again, we need people's participation. Before I can talk too much, though, about the forage industry and where the Kansas Forage and Grassland Council is, I want to talk to you a little bit about where we've been. Back in 1988, it was first organized by Gary Kilgore, who was a Southeast Area Extension agronomist. He, along with the head of the Department of Agronomy, Gary Posler, the state statistician, several KSU faculty members, and Kansas growers all came together and organized the Kansas Forage and Grassland Council. And their goal at that time was to strengthen the forage base for the livestock industry through more efficient production utilization. Well, it's 32 years later. Times have changed. The industry's changed. And so too, to an extent, has the Kansas Forage and Grassland Council's mission. Today, we see our role as being there to serve as an umbrella organization, providing education and programs to strengthen the forage industry. Two people I want to really center on here today, though, is our president, Roger Black, a rancher and forage producer from Cowley County. And he'll be following me here a little bit with some of his comments, but then also Dale Helwig, who you've already heard from, who has ramrodded this conference and last year's conference. And these two folks have just been awesome volunteers for this organization. But again, we always need more people to get involved. Under that whole term, serving as an umbrella organization, you know, we are a membership organization. So it's not all about that paying that $45, but that is a big deal. But when you do that, you literally become a member of not only the Kansas Forage and Grassland Council, but also the American Forage and Grassland Council. And you are represented as part of the National Alfalfa and Forage Alliance. We are the state affiliate for both those organizations. We strive to represent pasture and range managers and ranchers, alfalfa growers and processors, growers and sellers of all hays, grasses, annual forages, sorghums, and silages, and growers focused on soil health and conservation. It's a pretty big umbrella, and we need people's ideas, and we need people's involvement. Under that, promoting the Kansas forage industry, you know, we are the sponsor of the Kansas State Fair Market. Kansas State Fair's Market Alfalfa Show. We are a sponsor of the Kansas Forage, KSU Forage Judging Team, and also the FFA Forage Proficiency Award. And then here in 2022 or 2020, we put together our first KSFGC photo contest. I've got the winning photos there. I think a great one there is the top corner, education, green grass does burn. What we're trying to do here is highlight the importance of forages. And I think that photo does an awesome job of pointing out one of those things that we're learning very quickly, that these summer burns, these early fall burns can really impact a lot of things in a very positive way. And that's what that photo is trying to get at. We'll be getting more information about the 2021 photo contest. We'd love to see people's entries there. Just a quick synopsis of some of the things that we have been doing as a board and as an organization. We've held 2 board meetings. Again, I think as Kim touched on, it has been a COVID year and has changed a lot of things and how we've done things. We implemented our first KSFGC photo contest. We started the KSFGC e-newsletter, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but our goal there is to go exclusively to our members, not the general public, just to our members. It's a communication tool for us. We've continued to manage the KSFGC alfalfa variety plot, and hopefully you'll hear more about that here later on this afternoon. We hired a communications intern who has really helped us on not only our social media, but also pulling together this newsletter. We completed our transition to the AFGC membership system. I know it may seem confusing at times. I know it may be a little bit frustrating, but it helps us manage our costs and that list. And so when you hit that link that says, hey, join KSFGC, and it goes to the AFGC system, know that you are signing up as a Kansas Forage and Grassland member. And I think it's important to be part of that bigger family also. We've maintained our seat on the NAFA board. Clayton Janicki, who had some questions there on alfalfa, as a Northwest Kansas alfalfa producer, he is our representative on the National Alfalfa Forage and Alliance, and representing alfalfa growers in Kansas on that national board. This year we submitted comments to USDA on behalf of Kansas forage growers regarding USDA's Ag Innovation Agenda. We worked with KSU on putting together their application, and then we submitted a letter of support for the grant application to the EPA Watershed Grant Program. That grant is just under $1 million, so hopefully we'll get that, focusing on virtual fencing, feeding site relocation, cover crop grazing, and livestock watering site improvement. That's just a few of the things that your KSFGC board and this organization has been involved with. A lot of benefits to our being a member. We want you to help us spread that word to your friends. And they're all listed there, but I do want to hit on that newsletter again. We've got a handful of sections that we're pretty proud of. One of them is a look inside KSU research and extension. We try to get to you stories that you may not be seeing about KSU from KSU faculty that you may not always hear from. We try to present a unique perspective for our members. That Hey report that you saw just earlier, basically Kim puts that together each month and she updates that. And so you're going to find the best Kansas hay market report in Kansas in our monthly newsletter. So boy, I really do think it's important. Let your friends know about it. We have a section we call Forage Charts, which essentially just presents information on forages, but basically in a graphical form. And again, presenting some information that we feel like it's out there in the public domain, but you may not see it very often. And so we try to put that together and get that and share that with you. All kinds of assorted forage information. Another one we just started was this one we call agency, let's see here, I'm just looking up here, agency news. And we kind of try to give you the latest on Farm Service Agency, also RMA. And 2 things I want to remind you about. CFAP2 sign up. It includes assistance for both alfalfa growers, triticale growers, and teff. That was new in CFAP2, $15 an acre rate. You got to sign up though by tomorrow if you want to get those payments if you haven't already. We put that in our newsletter. Another one from Risk Management Agency, proposed changes to the pasture rangeland forage rainfall index crop insurance program. There's opportunities through December 21 for folks to comment. And so again, check out the letter, click on those links, get your comments in, let RMA know what you think. Check out our website, www.ksfgc.org. If you haven't already, sign up to receive our blog. It's a little bit different than our newsletter. Basically, what we try to do is canvass all kinds of other forage information sources, and when we see something that we feel like is very good for Kansas growers, we'll repeat it there. So sign up to get that blog, and you'll make sure that you won't miss any good forage news. If you like Facebook, look us up at Kansas Forage. We're also there. We do a lot of that same stuff. When you go there, like us, share us with your friends, help us get the word out. We need your participation. Last thing I want to share here is AFGC annual meetings. The next one, 2021, is going to be January 3 through 6 in Savannah, Georgia, but they will also have a virtual version running January 11 to 12. Go to www.afgc.org to sign up and check those things out. They are, it's going to be a lot of great information. And please note that in 2022, that annual conference is going to be in Kansas. It's going to be in Wichita, January 9th through the 12th. So please get involved, get your friends involved. Last thing I want to do is thank our KSFGC board members. I've got them all listed there. We need your help though. We have a few vacancies. So if you are interested in serving, get a hold of me. We sure would love to see more participation. And even if you don't want to be on the board, boy, if there's information that we need to put in our newsletter, if there's information we need to share, get it to us at info@ksfgc.org. If there's meetings that are not on our list, let us know about them. We want to get the word out. And I tell you, with that, I'm going to stop, but I do want to turn it over to our president, Mr. Roger Black, again, a rancher and forage producer from Cowley County. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mark. And I think I would be remiss to not remind you that our excellent programming would not be possible without the commitment of people like Mark and Dale and Alicia. And I think we all owe them a virtual thank you, at least today. Having been on this board a while, I just want to share some of my perspectives. Mark talked about the acres of forage production, but I think that almost misses the importance of forages to the ruminant animal industry in Kansas. KDA did a little study of feedlots a few years ago, and they said, we can bring in our grain on unit trains, but we have to grow our forages here. And the forages are the underlying strength of our livestock industry in this state. When you think about all the areas of production and processing and distribution that's built on the back of forages, I think it starts to make clear the importance of what's going on. And this organization has been characterized by a number of people who have served selflessly to help us get the kind of information we need to be more viable as independent individual producers and as an industry together. And I feel the time I've spent working on it has been very well paid. A few incidents that stand out to me. You heard Kim's report on the Haymarket. You should know there was a time a few years ago when funding for a Haymarket news reporter was on the chopping block. And this organization stepped up and supported the position she holds. And I've been told by producers in a lot of other states that we have the most credible Haymarket News report in the country. And I think it's partly because this group has supported it. I yesterday sat on an advisory committee with a research project being done in several states, including K-State, looking at the value perspective of low lignin alfalfa. And there is just amazing work being done. It's being paid for by a checkoff on alfalfa seed. And we have researchers at K-State involved in that. I should also tell you that forage researchers at K-State are not just an automatic given. When someone in this area has retired, or there is openings in the College of Agriculture, this organization has lobbied hard for K-State to recognize the important contribution of forages and our need to have locally focused research on forage initiatives. And I think we've been fairly successful in that. We could do better, but I'm pleased at what we've been able to do. You've heard about brush control. We've sponsored a brush rodeo one time where we got to have a field day and look at every kind of tool that could control brush mechanically. I'll go back to that seed checkoff. There's projects scattered all over the country being paid for by that $1 a bag assessment on alfalfa seed. One that I'm really interested in is happening in Oregon, where they're looking at the non-protein, non-energy contributors to animal performance that have not been well measured in the past. Now, I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but let's look forward just a little bit. If I saw in the Farm Talk paper a story about a group called the Food Ag Climate Alliance. And it's a group of people, many of which don't immediately strike you as being our natural partners, that are looking at ways that agriculture can contribute to remediating climate change. If you read through it, it appears inclusion of forages in crop mixes is a monster part of it. I believe this organization gives us an opportunity to be at the table when these policy discussions are happening, and I'm looking forward to the contribution we can make to strengthening our opportunity to make a living in this business. I got yesterday the December issue of the Kansas Farmer. Look on page 6 at PJ Grickspool's opinion piece, where she talks about, I'm gonna steal a paragraph from you, PJ. Practicing regenerative farming contributes even more to carbon sequestration. Adding cover crops and grazing livestock provide natural nutrients and locks more carbon into the soil. More growing roots means more stored carbon, more microbial life, more plant nutrients available in the soil, means higher yield of cash crops and lower inputs for fuel and chemicals. We have the opportunity to make a contribution to a rising threat in climate change. And so we add, that is a piece of the social license to be in production agriculture. And I want us to celebrate that, take advantage of our opportunities, and thank you for the chance to talk to you.
Well, thank you, Roger.